Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Greg, and I'm bringing you to another episode on Word on the Street from a Veteran. Right now, it's Wednesday, June 25th, a little after 10 o'clock a.m. Um, Went for my little run this morning. It was nice and peaceful right afterwards. I did my push ups and sit ups, and once again, I thank God for giving me another day on this earth. Okay. On today's episode, I want to talk about two main things, and I wrote down some key points here in Thailand, here in Bangkok. I want to talk about peace and safety. Okay. We're going to talk about peace and safety today. Okay. I'm going to shorten the video. I know some other videos I kind of had a little long, I introduced myself and went on the run. But today we're going to talk about peace and safety. And I think it's one of the driving forces is what brings a lot of people to Thailand. Okay. I'll start breaking down the numbers and my sources. I just kept it simple with the sources and everything. Don't want to get too busy with the statistics. Okay. First of all, how you guys doing this morning? Where you guys are at? Okay. Wherever you're at, just thank God. Whoever you pray to, Allah or Buddhists or the temple, whoever you pray to, just thank God for just waking you up every day. Okay. Thank God. When I wake up, because I'm on a weight loss journey, by the way, I weighed myself yesterday on the scale. And now I am down from, okay, when I first got here in March, I was 135 kilos. I think the last video I said I was 275, and now I'm 264. So basically I went from 135 kilos to 120 kilos. That's basically from March, April, May, June. So basically in 4 months I lost, let's see, there's a total of 15, let's see, hold on, 120, 35, 20, about 15 kilos. So I went from 300 pounds to 264 pounds. So that's 36 pounds. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's talk about safety. Okay. Right now, as it stands, Thailand is at an all-time low crime rate. Now, what does that mean? You might ask, well, Greg, what are you talking about? Are you talking about gun safety? Are you talking about stabbings? I mean, what are you talking about? Are we talking about robberies? Well, when we talk about crimes, right, we're talking about major crimes. Okay, we're talking about guns, robberies, all at an all-time low. All right, they sit at basically 100th in the world. Now, there are other crimes that are not so high, but they're low, and we're going to talk about human trafficking. That's more so in the touristy areas, areas like here in Bangkok and everything. Okay, but if we're going to talk about major crimes, burglary or those robbing and thievery, that's at an all-time low. Okay, now why am I talking about safety today? Okay, I think that's important. Okay, it's part of the reason is what's bringing a lot of people around the world here because, and especially if you have families and loved ones and kids, is you want to know, wherever you come from, it's particularly in the United States or anything in the UK or anywhere, if your kids are safe or women are safe, right? Even yourself. There's, in the United States, women can't walk around at night. It's always best to have someone with them to accompany them, right? In various places. Now, I'm not saying all places, there's places in the country that you may not but it's not advisable. But here, since I've been here since March, I've seen a lot of women walk around at night, and I'm gonna tell you why that is. I'm gonna break down why it is that they can walk around at night, and why they're safe. All right, well, I did some research here, right, and I just did some little Google AI. Well, here's the thing. Thailand, well, first of all, Thailand has a total population of 72 million people. All right. In Bangkok, the two largest cities are Bangkok. Bangkok has about 11 million people, right? 11,392,000 to be exact, right? That's the residents of Thailand in the urban areas, okay? Chiang Mai, right? Chiang Mai is the second largest city. They hold about 2 million people. And then the third largest, Nakhon Ratchasima, and it's between that, their third largest, they hold about 466,000, okay? So why am I telling you these numbers? Okay, well, first of all, Bangkok, if you look on the world map, right, Bangkok is basically it sits in the south, like central south, all the way in the south, right? Whereas and that holds about 11 million people. Chiang Mai is more so the northwest. So above Chiang Mai is the country of Burma. Okay, they're at civil war right now. We're not even allowed. U.S. passport holders are not even allowed to go in that country because they're at civil war. To the northeast of Thailand is the country of Laos. Okay, and then west, of course, you've got Vietnam and Cambodia. All right. So why are these numbers so important? Why am I spitting these numbers? Well, Greg, why are you telling me about 11, the total population, 11 million? Because I'm going to tell you why it's important. Well, here's the thing. According to reports here, uh, Thailand, they invest into what's called CCTV cameras. Okay. According to research right here, what I did, um, research looks like they have about, let's see. Okay, for the city of, okay, we'll talk about Pattaya, right? Pattaya, which is the beach that sits roughly about, that's about 9,900 kilometers away from Thailand. In 2025, they're planning on going from 400 to 1,500 cameras by 2025, right? The Thai government aims to link over 360,000 security cameras, and this is to create a comprehensive surveillance, right, to combat crime. Now think about this for a second, all right? Think about this for a second, right? On every block, right, there's always some type of CC camera, be it the Thai government or some type of household that has a CC camera, all right? Now, it also says that the number of households with smart security cameras in Thailand is expected to reach 4.9 million by 2029. So what does that mean? That means no matter what happens, I told you in the last video that I can leave a package downstairs. Anybody can leave a package downstairs and get delivered. It's not going to get stolen, no matter if it's a security guard or not, right? No one's going to get mugged, right? And especially in the tourist areas, right? There are police posted everywhere. Okay, they respond quickly. Okay, um, and so that's important. You got people that are Amazon, that deliver packages on Amazon, and you don't even know if it's safe or not. Even it's the most secure neighborhoods. I'm talking about the United States. I can't speak for other countries. I can just speak for the United States. Not everywhere in the United States, but there's various areas where you don't even want to get an Amazon package or some type of package delivered without, the fear of it getting stolen. But here it's not like that. And because the reason is because there's a growing number of CCTVs. The Thai government, along with the king, they invest in that so that they can deter crime and they can up the safety of not only the locals and the Thai people, but also for tourist people, and that's important. Okay, I'm seeing various videos where there are families that are moving from all over the world because of this. All right, there's families moving all over the world, bringing their children and putting them in international schools, or they're homeschool them, and they don't even have to worry about, hey, go on down the street, go to 7-Eleven around the corner and go get me some milk in the middle of the night. Well, first of all, a child should be sleeping anyway, but that's important. I mean, I'm watching little kids, 12, 15, riding motorbikes, going down to the store. They don't even have to worry, not even an adult in sight. Okay. So when I see things like that, I'm like, So like I said, just talking about the peace and safety, that's important. Now let's talk about peace, right? The Thai people, according to their culture, right, they are known for their hospitality and friendliness. Most especially in the touristy areas, places like Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. And because what it is, it's about their society. It values harmony in its coexistence according to their culture. And whoever they pray to. Okay, and I think that is very, very important. So when you have an element of that, where there's already peace that's within the culture, what do you think is going to happen when it comes to the safety and security of their people? That's what's going to happen. That's going to drive more CCT cameras and the push for, just to deter crime. If a crime happens here, I've watched on TV when they do a crime. Look, the media, right? It's not like the United States where there's a crime. Hey, sources say this person did something, and then when they finally catch the perpetrator, they got him locked up. Here, let me tell you what happened. I'm watching on TV, right? Look, a guy committed a crime. I don't know what the crime was. It wasn't even on subtitles, but I could kind of get the gist of it, because what happened was I was ordering something to eat, and they had the news on. So let me tell you what happened. They arrest the guy, right? And so when they arrest the guy, the Thai police, right, instead of saying, "Hey, camera's back," we'll give him an interview. Look, you got the media. They got the camera all in the guy's face. Hey, what you do wrong? What you do? And it's like, it was funny, but you know what? In my mind, I said, what? That's kind of smart, Because it's like, look, if you do wrong, they're gonna have cameras all on you, right? There is no, hey, like in the United States, where we got the suspect and we got him detained, and more to that. You know what I mean? You don't really get to interview the suspect. If anything, the police will do everything they can to separate you from the suspect. But here, no sign of that. As soon as they detain you, right? They detain you. There's cameras all in your face. I'm talking, dude had handcuffs and everything. He's just looking shame down and everything. And so it's like I don't even know what the crime was, but I know when I saw that, I said, "Wow!" Just to see something like that. If that's not a motivation to, hey, don't do the wrong thing, I don't know what is. Always try to do the right thing. Um, Now let me get back on the fact that you can see women walk around at night, right? To see women walk around at night and there's no fear of muggers. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but to see that was amazing to me because it's almost like the way it's set up here. It's like I dare you to commit a crime. We're going to pull up the CCTV cameras. We're going to rewind it back how far, and they're going to find you. And there's no hiding anything like that. I mean, just the other day I'm seeing expats, foreign expats. They're up here trying to import or get marijuana sent for them from another country. Look, they're going to catch you. Customs are going to catch you, and not only they're going to catch you, they're going to have you up, right there in front, handcuffs out. I think I saw something the other day where there was a guy. I guess he was trying to smoke something in, and whoever sent it to him, they caught him. And not only did they catch him, they had him on stage. He had his handcuffs. They told him to turn around, and they gave an interview to Thai people like, we will not tolerate that. Okay, they do not tolerate those type of crimes at all. Okay, so it's almost like you ask yourself if you come to a country like this, particularly I'm in Bangkok, right? You come to a country like that, those are some of the things you want to look for. Whenever we travel or go to a different state or a different country or anything like that, especially if we have family and kids, we want to know if it's safe, right? We want to know if it's safe. We want to know if it's peaceful. We want to know if it's safe. We want to know how the schools are. Is it a good school? We all know if you have a good school in the area, that brings the property value up, in the house. But none of that matters here. What I'm saying is, you want to know how safe it is going to be for yourself, especially as a man. You want to know how safe your wife is going to be. You want to know how safe your kids are going to be, and vice versa. With women, how safe their children is going to be. So here it is. There's no sign of that. If you're in an area where you lost or anything like that, somebody, a Thai person is going to help you. Hey, where you trying to go? Let me know where you're trying to go. Hey, you want to hop on a motorbike? When I first got here, I met with a friend of mine here, and I didn't have the phone I had. All I can do was go off the address because I didn't have a Thai phone yet. I still had my phone from the States. And so what ended up happening was, I guess I showed the taxi driver where I was supposed to meet my friend at, and basically it was a completely different place. But let me tell you what happened. There was a guy on a motorbike at 7-Eleven. He's like, "Hey man, where you trying to go?" And when I showed him the restaurant, me being 6'3", I'm riding on the back of this motorbike. You know what I mean? It looked funny, but you know what? This guy didn't know me from Adam. And as a matter of fact, the guy was Indian. He didn't know me from Adam and was willing to give me a ride to a place where I didn't know where I was going. But long story short, I ended up making a call because I used the Wi-Fi, so I was able to call him on WhatsApp, and I navigated from there. But just something like that, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I'm at. I hop on the I hop on the back of this motorbike. I'm tall, and I'm just like, man, I hope I don't fall off, but whatever. I get on the back of this motorbike, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? And so I end up finding my destination. And I was like, you just feel as safe as you can be. So what I'm trying to say, the message I'm trying to tell you is, if you are coming here by yourself, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, young, middle age, older, if you're bringing your kids, if you're a single parent bringing your kids, listen, this is a great start. This is the place to be. Okay, this is the place to be. And if you think I'm wrong, do the research yourself. Google it. Break down the statistics. I'm just giving you a generalization of, what I've looked at, what I've seen so far since I've been here. Okay. All right. So there's that piece, right? Here's another piece that I want you guys to kind of start practicing in when you start traveling. Okay. So coming from the military, right? Coming from an Army background, right? First of all, I grew up military, I was a military brat. My father was, he did 22 years. I did 16. My brother did his years. My sister's ex-husband was in the military. So I come from a whole list of military. Well, one of the things they teach us, right now, if you're military, look, this is music to your ears, all right. But I want to kind of educate those who who are not military some of the things that you can practice. All right, look, whenever going to a different country, right? Now, let me talk to the fellas. Fellas, you ain't got to be flashy. If you're a flashy type of person, you ain't got to be flashy. Flashing all that jewelry and things of that nature, you don't have to do that. Now, you got to be careful in countries like South America, various countries, because I've heard stories of Colombia where guys are getting robbed because they flashing. They making it rain all in the club and anything, things of that nature. You don't have to do that. No, the biggest thing they teach you in the military is there's an acronym that we use. We use an acronym where I'm not going to share what the acronym is, but it's basically what you want to do is you want to blend in. Okay, you always want to blend in with the culture. You don't have to wear what you wear. Just try to blend in. You don't got to be the flashy. Just be simple. What you're going to find in a lot of these countries, international countries, it does not matter what you wear. Okay, I get it. People. Some people like to wear the Tommy Hilfiger shirts and Louis Vuitton. I mean, look, wear what you wear. Okay, I'm not saying that being here in Thailand, someone's going to rob you of that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, try to blend it as much as possible. Learn about the culture. Try to go to the areas that are not so touristy. Go to areas that where the locals go to. If you go to tourist areas, you're going to see a lot of Burger Kings and McDonald's. Go to the areas where eat the food the locals eat. Okay. When you do that, what that does is that educates you, and what you'll start to learn is you'll start learning, the peace and the security, and that's what that's basically what I did. I've kind of had this prior to even coming here. Like I said, I've been stationed in places like when I was in the Army in Germany and Korea twice, and so this was kind of ingrained in me. But I challenge you, if you come to different countries, or especially a country like this, try to blend in as much as possible. I'm not telling you to dress like the Thais do, but what I'm saying is you don't have to be a flashy person. Now I'm telling you guys all this, and I got a hat on and some glasses and things like that. But look, I'm feeling myself today. All right, I'm in the comfort of my own home, and when I walk out, I'm gonna take the glasses off, and I got to go to the gym a little later on and everything. But what I'm telling you is you don't have to be flashy here. Okay, so the biggest thing about this video, because I ain't want to be too long, is I just want to just recap, talk about peace and safety. Okay, peace and safety is what should bring you here. Okay, peace and safety. You do your research. You see what it's all about for you. See how it's safe for you and your family. You can scan your area. One thing I also encourage you to do is, if you're on Facebook or Twitter, see if you can join travel groups. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a travel group called Passport Bros. You know what I mean? Prior to coming here, I've asked people, hey, how's Thailand? You can look at YouTube videos. It's all about getting as much information you can, and also get information from people that's in real time, that's boots on ground, right? Meaning people that's actually here and can tell you, can share with you, can FaceTime and say, hey, this is what it's like right now. This is what the safety's looking like. If you put your kid in international school, you don't have to worry about if is my child going to get kidnapped. Now, don't get me wrong, human trafficking is real. All right, I'm not saying it does not exist. All right, because those type of things exist all over the world, especially here, right? But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the major crime area, getting snatched. So yeah, do you want to be with your child and take them to school? Yes, absolutely. But what I'm saying to you is, they've got so much CCTV cameras everywhere where they are not trying, they are doing it. They are deterring crime. Crime rate is all-time low. Like, look, the Thai police don't play that. Salute to the police all over the world. Doesn't matter where you're at. But that's what it's all about. All right. So if you think I'm lying, just do your research. I just wanted to share that little bit with you guys. Didn't want to get long-winded about it, but that's what I wanted to share with you. And like I said, hey, just do your research. All right. Before you click out, like and subscribe. I'll have more content coming at you. Talking about Thailand. I know at the end of I should be going to Cambodia soon. In a couple months or whatever. So I'm actually going back. So when I'm there, I'll take you through the plane ride. How much it costs, the hotel, the real money. Just walk you through the whole process. I'll just do it, and I'll have the video and everything. But it's more to come. Okay. So like I said, my name is Greg, and this is Word on the Street from a Veteran. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me your comments. And looking forward to doing more videos. Okay. Out.